Good evening, everyone. It is a real honor to be here today. The Hindu and the Sportstar has been legendary. As a young boy, growing up to a mother who captained India in basketball, and a father who played field hockey for India in the 1972 bronze medal Olympic winning team, I understand how important heroes are. This 1983 team, I was 10 years old. This 1983 team, every time they went out to play their match, the whole country egged them on and wished them to covet the World Cup. I know they've been standing behind for the last 17 minutes, so I'm not going to keep this long, but can you all please stand up and give a standing ovation to our heroes, the 1983 team that won the World Cup, led by Mr. Kapil himself. Thank you very much, everyone. Could I also welcome onto stage the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji. I'll just help him. Please also welcome onto stage Dr. Malini Parthasarthi, M.R. Kumar, Mr. Ayon Sengupta, and L.V. Navaneet. This evening, Breitling, the watch company, has honored our athletes and our champions. Can I please request the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Mr. Patnaik, to give away these wonderful watches, please? And Dr. Parthasarthi. Our captain, Mr. Kapil. Mr. Sunny Gavaskar, to Mr. Roger Binney, Mr. Shrikant, can I request Mr. Kumar to please hand over to Mr. Dilip Vensakar, Scott, to Mr. Ravi Shastri, Vice Captain Mohinder Amarnath, to the champion Kirti Azad, to Mr. Sandeep Patil, to Mr. Madan Lal, to our champion Mr. Balinder Sandhu, to the man with the golden hands, Syed Kirmani, to Mr. Sunil Walson, also, would I please request Ma'am Renu, Ma'am Renu Sharma, the wife of late Yashpal Sharma. Thank you, everyone. I really want to get into asking these champions how champions are made. I'm going to ask Mr. Kapil Dev first. Not only does he lead by example, not only is he menacing when he runs down in his run-up to deliver one of those beamers, but the way you led the team, sir, the way you led the team when not many people believed. What was going on in your head, sir?
First of all, thank you very much. After 40 years, you're inviting. Still, we are getting respect and love from everybody. That's the most important thing. And on behalf of the team, I can only say, I'm not a very good student, so I don't remember many things. And it happened 40 years back. If I remember, I would have been doctor, engineer, or writer, which Hindu people hire. So I'm not a good person to tell the stories. I'm not a storyteller, I'm story maker.
Well, sir, on behalf of a whole nation, I personally would like to thank you and all your boys for inspiring us.
Like to say, behalf of the team, thank you. You know, you invited, still we getting love and affection from everybody. There is no word, I don't know how to express. वैसे भी मैं बोलने में थोड़ा शर्माता हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता कैसे एक्सप्रेस करें, लेकिन बहुत ही अच्छा लगा आपने हमें बुलाया यहाँ पर और इतना प्यार, इज़्ज़त, मोहब्बत दी, और उनके लिए कोई शब्द नहीं है हमारे पास कि हम किस तरह आपको एक्सप्रेस करें. इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि हिंदू वालों को थोड़ा हिंदी कम आती है और मेरे को इंग्लिश कम आती है, तो दैट्स व्हाई आई थॉट आई लर्न little bit of English, and Hindu people have to learn little bit of more Hindi. And one small story, way back when I started as a young kid, and somebody from Hindu newspaper, I still refresh my memory, they come from an interview, and I said, मेरे को English बोलनी पड़ेगी, मैंने interview नहीं दी. or I just said, can I go? I went from there out, so I didn't give interview because they all talk in English. और मेरे को English आती नहीं थी, और thanks to my team जो थोड़ा बहुत सीखा इनके साथ रह के. So that's what I like to say only. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the Hindu publication and the family for honoring the team. The entire team is here, present in front of you, bearing one gentleman who's no more with us, but I'm sure his soul lingers around us. And late Yashpal Sharma, his wife, Srimati Renu Sharma, is here. We always get together once a year and remember him. And whenever we're counting, doing signatures, we always say, 14 ho gaye, 15वां kahan hai? Because it's very hard to believe that he's gone. So before we observe 1 minute silence, I would request Ravi to say a few words about Yash, and then we will observe the silence.
Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this outstanding gesture after so many years. It gives, I was the baby of the team. It gives me an opportunity to meet all my colleagues, like Kirti said, once a year, but with the way things are going, it's more often than that. Yash was a fighter, let's put it that way, to say the least. He was the last person you would think who would leave us, because he was fit, he was strong, he was a vegetarian, he did everything what a doctor would want a patient to do. And he was no patient. And as a cricketer, he played for many, many years. He was entertainment in the dressing room. You know, not just because of the jokes he cracked, but, you know, sometimes his accent got everyone, you know, rolling in that dressing room, whether it was in Hindi, whether it was in English, or even sometimes in Punjabi. And the fact that he had a short fuse, you know, really made us enjoy his company, because there were enough people in this team who would needle him or pull his leg. And that got the best out of Yashpal Sharma. But his performance in that 1983 World Cup will never be forgotten, because it was his innings that was instrumental in India beating the West Indies for the first time in World Cup history. And that was the first game at Old Trafford. He scored 80 odd, and some of the shots he played were simply fantastic. And even when it came to the semi-final, he rose to the occasion. So right through that World Cup, you know, where every bat is signed, every sheet is signed, that's a very important name that's missing. You know, we love you, Yash. You are in our memories today, and the Hindu family also remembers you. Thank you.
I would request the August gathering to kindly stand up for a minute in the memory of our late brother, Yashpal Sharma. Om Shanti. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you very much.
Winning, as you can see, is done with not just a lot of emotions, not just with a lot of passion, but it's done with great human beings. It's done by people who stick together. People who stick together on the field and off the field. I would like to ask one of my favorites, Sunny Gavaskar, the man who came out to bat with no helmet, facing a West Indian attack. Once he cracked a joke to me that, yeah, I don't worry about the bouncers, they go over my head. The little master, one of the greatest heroes that we have, man that I looked up to. What does it take to keep this glue within a team?
I think it is basically the awareness that we did something special. when not a lot of people were expecting us to do something special. And I think the memory of what we did keeps coming back every year on the 25th of June. And that keeps us together. We've got a group now, so we are in touch pretty much daily. And that's been one of the best things because, I think over the years, we've grown together from being team members to a family. It's a family now. We are all brothers and we are wishing each other for every occasion. And I think that is the best thing about this group. Champions, as we call ourselves. I know we are being a little immodest over there, but it really has been fantastic to be part of this team. And I know what the country felt when we won, because cricket is a game which is followed by so many. To be able to give joy to so many people was a blessing. And it's a blessing now, 40 years down the road, that all of you come and give us the same kind of affection. That is really a blessing. So thank you all.
Well, we really look up to our champions, and I think that growing up as a young man, a lot of athletes would look at cricketers and say, cricketers have all the sponsorship, they have all the limelight, they have all the media. But I like to learn from cricket. I like to learn from these champions. And I think it was so important to have past champions get into governance. I think it's so important to have past champions who make a difference to nurture young talent. Mr. Vensakar has his academy, 4 academies that has nurtured some wonderful players. What is the inspiration behind building academies?
After my retirement, I wanted to give something back to the game. And I thought the best way to give something back to the game, to help young cricketers with industrial standards of academies. And that's what I did, is free of cost. And over the last 28 years, thousands of cricketers have got external platform. And a lot of players from Mumbai and Maharashtra, they are playing for India, for IPL, other age group tournaments. And I'm so glad that I could do something for them, because a lot of players we select, and they are from humble background. Many of them are from slums, but they got the platform, which is very important, and that is what I wanted to give back to the game. Thank you.
Has Ravi left us? He's here. Also, not just nurturing talent, but also coaching the national team, and that too doing it amazingly well. It takes a real skill to be a fantastic coach. Not every great athlete is a good coach. You can look at John McEnroe in my sport, never really coached so great. You look at champions in other sports, not necessarily great coaches. But the pressure, Ravi, of being the coach and the leader and the elder statesman of the team, when the team wins, you're rarely looked at. When the team loses, it's all on your shoulders. What's that like?
Well, it's something that the game taught you to handle, pressures. And in fact, for me, pressure was a challenge. I relisted it. And it was my endeavor when I was the coach of the team to make the team feel in the same fashion. Pressure is another word. You need more of it. You got to fail, and then you learn. If you don't learn how to fail, you'll always fail how to learn. You got to get that right. So if you take out the failure issue out of the system, half the battle is won. Because then you're not intimidated by nothing. Pressure, yes, because it can be a thankless job. When you played the game, you're at the bat and ball. which you could control, and it controlled your destiny. When you broadcasted, you had the mic. That controlled your destiny. But when you're a coach, once the boys are out on the field, all you can do is twiddle your thumbs and keep them going. So it was basically, I did very little. Mine was more focusing on the mindset, and the mindset was to try and make that team believe that they can win in any conditions. And that was my goal. My goal was not chasing silverware. My goal was to infuse steel within that Indian cricket team. And I'm happy I did that.
For many years, I was very proud to play a sport that had equal prize money, equal opportunity, equal scholarships for both male and female athletes. And I really want to congratulate the BCCI. I really want to congratulate cricket for actually taking that mantle forward. And I'd like to ask Uncle Roger, who's been very close to my father for so many, many years. Tremendous love between the two. We'll get to that later. But it is such a wonderful job that BCCI is doing, not just only in looking after the men's game, not just looking after the women's IPL, not just looking after, I'm not sure how many of you all know, the BCCI as an association, as an organization, is the largest donator to other sports on the planet. To me, that is phenomenal. What was the thought behind equal prize money, equal opportunity, equal scholarships?
Yeah, well, Leander and his dad, West Pace and me go very long way back. We're great friends, and we enjoyed each other's company. And he was a great sportsman, even a great administrator. He turned out to be. Well, coming back to Leander's question about women's cricket coming on par with the men, it even surprised me 3 years down the line to see the improvement in the game, especially what the ladies played. If you saw them along the way, there was a tremendous change in the game. And we felt that the BCCI felt that they had not done enough to encourage them along the way. So that's why we got into the Apex Council, came forward, and took things up and said that we have to do something, and we have to improve the game of cricket with the ladies. And from what we've seen, we saw the girls win the Under-19 World Cup, which was a tremendous achievement, and that's what kick-started everything. Now even the women's IPL, which has been another big issue with us. We enjoyed bringing the Women's World Cup, and I'm sure in the future you're going to see the women's team do excellently well and even win a World Cup like what we did in 1983.
Thank you, sir. I'm so pleased that one of our great heroes, Uncle Roger, is now the BCCI president. And I think that the sport of cricket, and I think that sport in India is going to do wonderfully well under his guidance. Thank you, Uncle. I remember watching the 1983 World Cup ball for ball. And there was one ball in particular, that another one of my favorites, bowled. He got Greenwich out. Was that intentional or was that unintentional?
I think Marshall helped me. Because he hit
How
the
so,
ball
sir?
on my head, on the ear. And after that, मुझे वो सब स्कूल की टीचरें याद आ गई जिसने मेरे को कान पे मारा था. और उसके बाद मेरा दिमाग चलना शुरू हो गया. So, thanks to Marshall.
Sir, thanks to you, now we have a World Cup in our trophy case.
I think it's a total team effort in that. So each one has played his role well. So that's how it is. And as long as you are enjoying that contest, वो हमारी महाभारत थी और हमने महाभारत अर्जुन की तरह स्किल्स पे तैयार लड़े और साहस हमारा अभिमन्यु जैसा था.
Thank you, sir. To the man with the golden hands. You know, every time Uncle Syed Kirmani came in on the field, I always wondered whether Sunny Gavaskar sir or Syed Kirmani was taller. Can we please find out eventually? I think it's a tie. I think you got him on just the hairstyle. He's wearing high heels, is it?
He's wearing high heels.
Is that right? Those are some very fancy shoes. Both of them are wearing some very fancy shoes. But every time you went out to play, sir, you were the man behind the wickets, not
Always
only
been.
with the safest hands out there, but you were the ones calling out instructions. You were the ones keeping the team together.
Well, that's the job of a wicketkeeper for sure, to keep the team together. But I think all of us were so understandable that we all encouraged one another and we stuck together with what potentials we all had. And the leader was Kapil Dev to start with. So on those basis, I think I should add a little bit of what Ballu said about facing Malcolm Marshall, the first ball. I was at the non-striker end, and that's where Ballu saw stars during the daytime, and he was rubbing his helmet. See, I ran across, I said, Ballu, helmet पे क्यों लग रहा है यार? अरे हाँ बल्कि then he removed his helmet and started rubbing his turban. And Dickie Bird, the best umpire in our time, he was so abusive to Malcolm Marshall and said, hey, go and say sorry to him. Go and say sorry to him. So Malcolm comes and says, sorry, Ballu, in his typical language accent. And he was walking away. Ballu, look at his humor at that particular moment and finals of 83 going on, right? Ballu called Malcolm and said, hey, Marco, you think my brain is here? No, it is here, he said. So that is what is Ballu all about, his good humor. And I was the closest to hear all that. Yes, so that's it. And I enjoyed every bit of it. You see, right from the beginning, I was asked to stand behind the stumps to collect all the deliveries. Yes. The word which I wanted to use is a very exciting word, so that's why I said deliveries.
What was the team, this thing? Team getting everybody charged up. क्या बोले तो क्या बोले?
Wood bole.
That was the team, charging up. क्या बोले तो क्या बोले?
Wood bole. अभी क्या बोलूँ आगे मैं? Yeah, thank you very
So,
much.
Sunny sir, what was the atmosphere in that team bus when you'd ride to the stadiums? Was it one of a lot of pressure and expectations? Was it one where you had the stalwarts of the team cracking jokes and singing songs? What was it like on the team bus?
Very relaxed, very relaxed. Again, because, there were no expectations. So when there are no expectations, the pressure is not there. And I think that certainly helped us because we went out there, we played as well as we could. Sometimes we didn't score runs. Sometimes, the bowlers were hit for runs. Sometimes the odd catch was dropped. But there was no pressure. And I think basically in the team bus going, from one county to another county, there was so much of, merriment. It was just amazing. People were cracking jokes at each other. It was just great fun. I think it was. It's been one of the highlights of my cricketing career. To be part of this team, those three weeks over there were absolutely amazing. And one thing that I would like to point out, because not much is made of it, is our manager, P.R. Mansingh. He was absolutely fantastic. I mean, he held us all together. There were moments of doubt, but he was always the one who gave us the confidence. So I think, when we are talking about the players, I think the role that Mr. Mansingh played cannot be forgotten.
That's exactly right. And playing at Wimbledon, serving for the title, I know how daunting that is and how much pressure that is. I'm going to come to the man who bowled that last over, who came and always had a smile on his face. And I know all too well behind the smile is a lot of emotions. Sir, can you tell us, when you were handed that little red cherry to bowl the last over and take the last wicket, if I'm not mistaken, what was going inside you behind that smile?
See, 75, we were there for holidays. 79, we were there to participate. 83, we were there to win. तो अपने में खूबियां ढूंढ, खामियां निकालने के लिए लोग हैं ना। मोहब्बत करनी है तो खुद से कर, नफरत करने के लिए लोग हैं ना। देखना है तो ऊंचा देख, नीचा गिराने के लिए लोग हैं ना। मोहब्बत करनी है तो खुद से कर, नफरत करने के लिए तो लोग हैं ना। तो जिंदगी में अपनी अलग पहचान बना, तालियां बजाने के लिए लोग हैं ना। No, it was, I think, I always believe cricket is an individual game which becomes a team game when everybody performs. Because you bowl one ball at a time, you face one ball at a time, ball goes to a fielder only once, and it takes a ball to get a wicket. So I think we all performed and at the right time. As Kapil ने बोला है, उसकी भी जैसे हिंदी है, अंग्रेजी है, मेरी भी वैसी है. हम दोनों पंजाब से हैं ना. Anyway, I think I remember about Hindu. I think when I was growing up, and it was the newspaper, I looked up to actually. Not from even my days, from my father's days. So it was the most prestigious newspaper at that time and still is. And I remember one more, a little bit, I'll go off track about Hirvani joke. I think we were playing at Madras, and Ravi was captaining the side, and Hirvani made his debut. And imagine he was sharing room with Navjot Singh Sidhu. So he took 8 wickets in the first inning, and the guys from Indore, he didn't know a word of English. No Hindi daily over there, so he was very excited, very happy. So big photo and all these things, which he had done. He took 8 wickets. So he said, यार सिद्धू जरा बताना क्या लिखा है? इसे बहुत अच्छा लिखा तेरे बारे में. तो बट से यार ये तो इंग्लिश में लिखा है, मुझे पढ़ना नहीं आता. तो इसे तेरी बहुत तारीफ लिखी है. तूने ये किया वो किया ठीक है. Next inning again he took 8 wickets. So then again there were big write-ups and all that thing in Hindu and all that. So he was very excited. So like, as Punjabi or Hindi-speaking guys take little meaning of a word, English word to Hindi word. So in those days, the militancy was happening in Punjab and all that. The front news was that 24 more killed in Punjab. So he went to Sidhu, yaar, ye kya ho gaya? He said, what do you mean kya ho gaya? Ye chalta hai Punjab mein. He said, 24 more killed in Punjab? He said, हाँ, कोई नई बात नहीं है. He said, यार, इंसान तो मैंने मरते देखा, ये मोरों को कब से इन्होंने मारना शुरू कर दिया. So that was Hirvani. Coming back to World Cup. So it was like when Kapil handed over a ball to me, and then I was bowling the last over, and before that I was fielding on the boundary at the deep point. When 9 wickets were down, Kapil was bowling, and I was praying कि यार Kapil wicket मत लेना. not for any reason. If you had taken the last wicket, I wouldn't have been able to reach the dressing room because the crowd was ready to come on to the ground. And when I took that wicket, when I went to, and it was like, I didn't know actually at that time what we did, to be very honest. So because we created history as a team, every individual contributed at the right time, whether Kirmani, Sunny, anybody, Roger, and unsung heroes of 83, Roger, Binny, and Madan Lal, they were really contributed a big way. So I think Vinny was great, actually, and thanks to 1983 team, we are all here, and thank you very much for inviting us, and over here, and God bless you all. Sasika, thank you.
Well, sir, I know you're a man of many talents, and I've been given my cue that this is my last question. I believe you've got a pretty nice voice. You've got a nightingale for a voice. Is that about right, Sunny, sir? Yeah? Well, can you clear your throat and sing something for us so we can put a wrap on this, please?
See, I'm a Punjabi, and I'll do a number which my friend Dilip Vinsaka likes a lot. I think he can join me also.
Bollu, Punjabi.
We have a lot of Punjabis here? No. Anyway. All right. So, Apna Punjab howe, ਘਰ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਹੋਵੇ, ਮੁੱਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਗੰਡਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਵਾਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਮੰਜਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਉਹ ਮੰਜੇ ਤੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਜੱਟ ਬਣਿਆ ਨਵਾਬ ਹੋਵੇ, ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਹੋਵੇ, ਘਰ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਹੋਵੇ, ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ, ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ. Thank you.
Well done, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our 1983 Cricket World Cup champions. Please give them a phenomenal hand. Thank you very much to every single one of you, sir. Thank you.